Hey guys, it's Rich Boy J here, back in with another video, and this is going to be the Vardos mock build series update number 13. Finally here after another 2-week break. Trust me, I did not intend for this to happen once again. Of course, Thanksgiving didn't come around. I had a lot of family come into town and obviously had to tend towards them, which I thoroughly enjoyed, and I'm hoping you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving holiday as well. I had every intention on just uploading the video sometime throughout the week, but then I came down with strep throat, so that was really annoying. I'm just finally starting to feel like myself again and actually starting to feel like building, so was finally able to get one of these updates up, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. There wasn't a ton of building that got done, but there were a few things that I think were really going to help contribute to a lot of the fine details in the mock that I'm going to show you guys, as well as the finally completed Corvus design. I can't wait to show that to you guys as well. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. And guys, here we have it, the Corvus. Right now it's clocking in at around 6,473 parts, which is absolutely insane. These giant mocks just can't find a way to escape from me. These things they just build themselves, it almost seems. But you can see I did finally add in the landing gears. So the front one is pretty accurate, I would say. The back ones are not accurate at all, and there's actually a reason I decided to build it like this. For one, the way the landing gears actually exist on it, it wouldn't structurally work with Lego. Lego just wouldn't be strong enough for it to work. And the other reason is because if I built it the way that it's kind of designed, the landing gears would basically end up stretching all the way like back this way, and it would like stretch over the mock. So it would just be more trouble than it's worth. So I just decided to give it relatively simple landing gears that go straight down, boom, and it'll just work much better with the mock. One of the other things I also am going to add in, so you'll see I have a lot of these like trans blue elements in there, and those are actually going to be illuminated. So I'm going to use the power functions lights and have it connected through there to illuminate those, I guess, windows you'd call them. I don't know what they function as on the ship, but they are illuminated, and I will make sure I do that for the final model. One of the other things that you guys actually have not seen is the little bit of an interior that I did. So check this out right here. This top hatch comes off. Move that out of the way. You can see I have the bridge section. So right here we got a little bit of that little indented area where the troops, or not really troops, but like Imperial technicians or officers would be sitting down working on their consoles. And then of course there's the famous Star Destroyer-esque window right here. I left some studs there for people to stand and look out at whatever they would be looking at. And then back here, there's one of these like consoles with like a hologram in the middle that all three of the remaining members of Inferno Squad stand at and they look at. So yeah, that's that. I know people like interiors on ships like these. I'm still planning on down the line probably adding like a full interior to the inside, like beneath these, but for the purposes of this big Vardos mock, I'm just going to keep it relatively simple and only have this interior section right here. But all in all, I'm really happy with it. And I just can't wait for that Inferno Squad battle pack to come out so I can load those figures up inside of here along with some Imperial officers and technicians, and this baby will be ready to go. So guys, let me know what you think about the Corvus. This thing was quite a ride to be able to design. It took me forever to finally get to a point where I was confident with what I was building and I felt that I could move forward with it. And once I hit that, it was just so exciting to keep working on this thing because I really do love the design of the ship. Whenever I first saw it in the Battlefront 2 commercial, I knew like I want to build that in Lego. That thing is so freaking cool. And now that it's done, and or at least it's in its design phase, I'm just so excited to get it built in real bricks. So the bricks are on the way. I have ordered them. They'll be here on Monday, which should be tomorrow for most of you watching this. I'm counting on this video actually coming out on time. And then I'll actually probably do a live stream in order to show you guys me working on this build. So that'll be pretty exciting. But let's go ahead and move forward with the rest of the mock. Those of you who checked out the live stream would know that I worked on a few more of those cargo crates, so you can see that we finally have 3 of them. Looks like I actually have space for about 4 of them lined up there, so that'll actually work out probably perfectly, which is nice to know. And of course I'm going to have to build who knows how many more to clutter the rest of the platform, because there are just so many of those things floating around. And there are also other parts of the map, as I've noticed, having played the game more and more. If we take ourselves back over to this side, this is where the bulk of the work was done. I've been working on the courtyard, where you obviously come from the landing platform, walk up those stairs. You are greeted by a stormtrooper by a door, and then you come through here, cross through there, and then that's actually where you would go over to where the big tower is going to be. So I'm actually really happy that this plays out almost exactly the way that it happens in the video game. And it was quite a challenge just sizing all of this stuff up, making sure everything had a proper place and that it would just make sense in terms of the context of the map. But it ended up working out pretty well. If you guys are wondering what this is right here, what's actually going to happen is I'm going to have one of these big lights right there. There's going to be one right here, so I needed to get power over here to be able to illuminate it. So I ran some wires through that hole right there. Those actually go back down through there, and they'll connect with it's one of the power sources on that side. And I have some copper tape here, and this is just going to be used to transfer power down this way below some plates, and then it'll actually go and connect to some spotlights that I have on top of the barricades right here and here. So I'm going to have plenty of lights and spotlights throughout this thing, and I'm figuring out more and more creative ways to be able to transfer the wires or copper tape throughout this MOC to ensure that I can have lights where I want to have them. So another thing you'll probably notice is I did build quite a few more of those barricades. You can see I have one over there. I have some lined up on this side. That's actually not really the final place where those are going to go. There's going to be elevated just a little bit. But that's a good general idea of where the barricades are going to be. And they're basically just going to kind of line this platform, or this pathway, all the way over here to where the figures would just end up going through there between two buildings that are going to be sitting right here. So all in all, super excited. I've been using so many tiles trying to get this area built up. Lots of gray tiles. Oh my god. I'm really going to be stacked with gray tiles by the time this MOC is finished up. But also going to have to build a few more of these barricades right here. One of the biggest challenges has been just trying to figure out exactly where the minifigures need to be placed, and where certain details like the barricades, like the tubing or pipes or wires are going to need to be going across the MOC. So all those things I'm taking into account, and I really do think it'll contribute to a very detailed looking MOC whenever this thing gets finished up. So that's actually really all I have to show you guys for this week. Corvus was what probably took up the most of my time in terms of times I actually spent working on this MOC, and I wasn't sick, and then I finally got a chance to at least start kind of expanding out a lot of this area over here. And I think that at this point I have a pretty good idea of where I need to go with it. So moving forward, I think I'll be able to move pretty quickly through this area and then get these buildings started up. And I'm actually really excited about these buildings for one reason, because they're buildings, and buildings are cool to have in MOCs, but also because they're basically the exact same thing as this one, just without the top half of it. So not only is it easier to make than this, but I have already made it, so I know how to make it, which means I don't have to put too much thought into it. I can just dive right into it and build it. So that's going to be the situation for these two buildings right here. And whenever those get finished, I'll actually be able to make my way into the main courtyard and actually start on that giant tower, which I'm sure all of you are waiting for. So let's go ahead and move to the end of the video, guys. Alright guys, that's going to finish up the video today. I really hope that you enjoyed all the things that I showed you. Like I said, the parts for the Corvus is on the way, so I definitely am going to be doing some live streams throughout next week of me building it, getting it together, and hopefully I'll have the finished model to show you guys on the next update. It is a 6,000 piece build, however, so it's definitely going to take me quite a bit of time, but I am so excited to dive right into that thing and get it built up. One of the other things is next week I really do hope to work more on that courtyard, hopefully get all the wiring done, get all of the details done, have all the figures standing where they're going to be. That was one of the biggest inhibiting factors for me making progress on that, was I kept having to go back to the video game and make sure okay, do I need to have some sort of jumper plate here in order to accommodate a minifigure standing up. So once I fine tune a lot of those details, it'll be a lot easier to move forward with it. And I think I'm also going to start working on those two buildings that kind of you go between whenever you go into that main courtyard where the big tower is going to be on the other side of the MOC. So very exciting things are going to be happening with this MOC moving forward. And I'm realizing that I haven't worked on it a ton over this past month with the double 2-week breaks that I took off. Of course, I got the Corvus done, but I still do want to get more progress done on the actual build, the actual scenery. So I'm going to be making a concerted effort to put a lot more time into working on this MOC. So hopefully that'll contribute to more substantive build series updates for you guys. So that's all I got for you this week. Like I always say, if you like what I do, go ahead, support the video by hitting the like button, support the channel by smashing that subscribe button, and I'll be back again very soon.